Hey, I'm Jonathan Wilkins, founder of Black Duck Revival. That's in eastern Arkansas, but I'm here in Oregon for the fourth spring in a row. This is the fourth year in a row that I've gotten a turkey tag, usually more than one, and I get to chase these gobblers across this gorgeous state, both in the Willamette River Valley and over further in the eastern high desert. I'm going to show you how you can do a little bit more with those turkey breasts than just deep fried, even though that's fantastic. And today I'm going to show you how to make a Indonesian inspired ginger, lemon, garlic wild turkey satay. Okay, so this is a wild turkey breast. If you take a look at it, you can see the way the grain is running, just like a piece of wood. You can see the direction that all those muscle fibers are running. All I'm gonna do is cut long, thin slices across the grain. If I do that, every time I cut through every one of those fibers, I'm gonna be making this inherently more tender, easier to chew, and that's a great way to keep wild game from being too toothsome and not having to do the old hammer method. And that's kind of what we're looking for, is these long, thin strips of meat that can be put onto a skewer. You're also making sure if there is any of that silver skin or a little bit tougher material, that it just ends up being a tiny flash in the pan and not the whole eating experience. All right, now I'm gonna take my mortar and pestle over here, and just like Professor Snipe making potions, I'm gonna throw about 3 thumb-sized pieces of ginger, 6 cloves of garlic, but more if you'd like. The zest, just the skin, as little of that white pith as possible, from half a lemon, and then the juice from 2 lemons squeezed in there. Also, both for flavor and so that I've got a little bit more abrasion in there to help turn this all into kind of this poultice-like material, I'm gonna put a healthy pinch of a coarse sea salt. All right, also before we start mixing this up, I just went out to the garden and grabbed a few fresh herbs. It's springtime, that stuff's coming on, and this will add a nice brightness to the dish, but it'll also add some cool color and a little bit of texture as well. I'm just gonna grind this down until it's a toothpaste consistency. And then they're gonna get skewered. Be as exact as I'm being with it, but you know, if you want them to present well, you can kind of do this little bit of crochet-like pattern. But you could also just, if you didn't even want to bother with putting them on the skewers, that helps with serving. But you could lay these down on a grill just as is and working with the tongs. And then once I got a plate full of them, now they're ready for the grill. All right, and there you have it. That is my version of a lemon ginger wild turkey satay. I've made a quick sauce to dip it in. That's just mayonnaise, some sambal, you could use sriracha as well, and some local Oregonian honey. This meal will impress your friends. It'll make believers out of folks that don't like wild game, and it's a perfect excuse to buy a hunting license in Oregon and chase America's bird in one of the prettiest places I've had the privilege of getting to stomp around.